Hello and welcome to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Mekka, I come from Norway, and as you can see I do love makeup, and today I'm very excited to do another part of my color series, which is inspired by Angelica Nyquist's color series, because she has a all in with color series, I believe. At least she used to do it before. And basically I'm just going to make a eyeshadow look with the color pink today, so that's why I'm looking super pink and I love it. So if you want to see how I did this look, then please keep on watching. I did already put on some lipstick, and I used my Jouer Cosmetics liquid lipstick in the shade West Coast, which is this bright, almost corally pink shade, and I just combined it with a lip liner from Mekka, which is a Norwegian brand, and it doesn't have a name or number, so I don't really know which one it is, but it's a bit deeper and more cool toned. And I did use a pink blush. This one is called Promise Ring, and it's a very cool toned pink, and it's a new one from Geek, so that's why I used it today, because I haven't used it yet. I just bought it on the sale that they had, where they had it for like $1.50 or something. And for my eyeshadow, I'm quite sure I want to go in with this gorgeous bright pink from Luxie Beauty called Cherry Blossom. And I know for sure that I want to use the Jelly Much shadow right here from Colourpop called Sweet Dreams. It's just such a beautiful color, and yeah, I don't really think I've used it more than once, so it's really time. I'm not really sure if it has dried, so I do have some Duraline right here that I will mix with it in case it's a bit too dry. And then I basically just have taken a couple of eye palettes. I don't really know which shadows I will use. This is the Colourpop Sweet Talk, so I might go in with some of these transition shades. We will just have to see, honestly. I'll just go ahead and start with Cherry Blossom and basically put it all over my crease, I believe. And I don't know if I will deepen it up, but then I might use Poison on Your Lips or that deeper shade from the Sweet Talk palette. And this is just with my Kaleidos Makeup S3 brush, which is like my all-time favorite brush. I use it for every look that I do. And I'm just making padding motions just to avoid fallout. I have a little, as you can see, this is a very pigmented shadow. And I only have my NARS Cosmetics Smudge Proof base. And I did just find out that they are not considered cruelty-free, which sucks because I really want to have cruelty-free products, and I already ordered the tinted one, so it should be here soon because it's been a while. But yeah, I will try to see maybe if I'll buy the Anastasia Beverly Hills one instead. I've heard so much great things about that. So I'm just going to pack this on and blend it out a little bit. And as usual, I make sure that I have it quite a bit above my hood right here, just because I really want it to stand out when I put on that lid shade. And I do have this shadow all over my lid as well to have a nice base for that Jelly Much shadow, just so that we can really see that pink base. And honestly, you wouldn't really have to have a transition shade because this one blends out so nicely. You could also use Colourpop in Sandbar. It's basically the same shade. When I swatched them next to each other, I didn't really see a difference. That also goes for Colored Rain Party Drip. Instead of using that shade from the Sweet Talk palette, I want to use this one. All of these are from my It's My Pleasure and Ooh La La palette. I think this one is from the Ooh La La, the pink one. And I don't remember the name, but it might be this one that's called Softcore. But anyway, I'm just gonna take that one and use it as a transition shade. And this is my Kaleidos Makeup S5 brush. So I'm basically just going to pack that on the edge right here and just slightly blend. And I do know that I'm super dry here. I have tried to scrub it away, but I don't want to be too rough on my skin, so I'll just have to let it play out and hopefully it will get better soon. I think it might be because I'm allergic to nickel, and I wear glasses normally, and those of course have nickel, and it's just right where they go. So That's why I'm dry there. Now I'm just taking a big fluffy brush and I applied a little bit of my setting powder right there at the edge. So I will be placing that all the way up to my brow bone right here, just to make sure that my eyeshadow base is set, because I don't want the shadows to stick any further up on my skin right here. Plus it also helps a little bit with the blending. And now that I have set my eyeshadow base, I'm not that afraid to drag this a bit further up, because if I go too far up, it's usually just to blend it away because it's not sticking as well to the base. So basically just blending and blending. And if you feel like you got a bit too much, you just take that brush again with some setting powder and diffuse the eyeshadow that you already put on. As you can see, I'm basically just taking it really far up so that only the edge of the brush is actually touching the shadow. As I thought, the Jelly Matte shadow is very dry, and since there's a lot on the lid, I will just be putting a drop of Durolin right on there. I'll probably have to use another one too, but I'm just going to sort of mix that into the Jelly Matte shadow. I do see that the brush I was using is a little bit stained, even though I tried to clean it, so you can see it's a bit darker right here where I used it. So I'm going to take a different one that is not stained. This brush is not stained, so I'll try to use this one instead. I'm really just trying to work in the Durolin into the product so that it gets smooth and nice. So even though I did apply the Durolin, it's still super crumbly, so I'll just try to place it on my eye and see if it smooths out there. If not, I might just use some glitter glue. Yeah, it's way too chunky. I'll just go ahead and apply a thin layer of my NYX glitter glue, and then I'll be back to apply that beautiful shade. So now I'm going to try again, and that tiny product I still had on my lid was like smoothing out with the glitter glue really pretty, so you can sort of see a little bit of it. But I did work in even more Durolin into this just because it's so chunky and I don't want it to stay chunky like this on my lid. I'm kind of scared I will rub away the pink base that I have. It looks like it right here, but we're just gonna have to try. As you can see, it's basically just flaking and moving around on my lid and not really wanting to stick. So this is kind of a fail. I'll try to keep working it into the lid because it looks really pretty where it's really foiled. But this is not exactly how I intended for it to go. I did just mix a bunch of glitter glue and a bunch of the product here on my hand, so I'll just go ahead and try that on my other eye to see if that works. Okay, that is so much better. Wow, just look how gorgeous that is. This way it looks so much prettier. Just look at how chunky this is. Of course, I do have a lot more product on this eye, but this is like the difference on the two eyes. So I don't know if I should I'm going to try to scrape it away, I think, and then try to apply like this instead. So we will just have to see if it looks the same. If not, I tried. I'm now just taking Cherry Blossom, and I'm not going to be too concerned about the blending right now. I basically just want to get this on as soon as possible so that I can use a little bit of that mixture that I just made with the glue and the Jelly Matte shadow. So I will just use that like in the middle right here. And obviously this shade will not look the same underneath here because I just set it with a lot of setting powder earlier, because I need to do that for my under eye not to crease. And now I'm just taking a little bit of that mixture and placing it right underneath here. So now that I smacked that under my eye really quickly, I will just work on the blending, and then I'm basically done. I just need to do my inner corner highlights. Looking for my inner corner highlight, I just saw this bubblegum shade from Luxie, and I just thought it looks a lot like this one if bubblegum had a deeper base, because they have almost the same shift. So if you're like interested in something similar to this, I would just go ahead and buy bubblegum by Luxie Beauty, because this one doesn't dry up, and then just use a pink eyeshadow as a base for this one, because they're just as sparkly and shifty. But anyway, I'm not going to use that one for my inner corner. I'm going to use my Milk pencil from NYX as my inner corner base, and then I will go ahead and use this gorgeous shade right here, which is Sweet Tooth by Luxie. It has a gorgeous pink shift, and as you could see, this actually I managed to make it look really pretty. I just basically scraped off all of that chunkiness, and then I applied it the same way that I did on this side, and that just went perfectly fine. And then I will just go ahead with that beautiful shade Sweet Tooth. Just had to take it out so you could see it a little bit better. I don't think you can really see the shift. Maybe if I just put it on the brush. Basically, I'm just going to pack that on top of my white base right here. Just like that. I don't really have a pink eyeliner to go in my waterline, so I'll just use Milk right there. Now I basically just need to put on my mascara and some highlight, and I will just go in with my Dream Glow kit from Anastasia. I haven't used it in ages, and almost all of these actually have a pink shift, but I think I will go ahead and start with the shade Magic, and then I'll just see if that pleases my needs for highlight. So I'm just using this highlighting brush from Kaleidos. It's the one I use all the time, and I will just basically be foiling this into my skin. If you don't like sparkly highlighters, this one is not for you. All of these from the Dream Glow kit are super sparkly, but they are really beautiful as well. And the way I like to use sparkly highlighters, it's the same way that Angelica Nyqvist does. It's to actually just foil them into the skin. But I do that with all of my highlighters all the time, actually. So I'm just going to try to blend the edges a little bit. I did apply quite a lot, so I will probably maybe have a gray cast. I don't know, I can't really see it. A little bit maybe. And then, since I think the edges are a little bit too harsh, I will just go ahead and use a powder brush. This is the one I use for my setting powder, and I will just blend out the edges even more. So now I'm just going to go ahead and apply some mascara, and then I'll show you a close-up of how this look turned out. So that is how my finished look ended up being like, and I did have to just put on a gloss because my lips were getting so crusty. It's the first time I'm using that lipstick, but this is the Ultra Glossy Lip by Colourpop. I got it in a set and I haven't used it yet, and it made my lips feel so much better. But I do actually really like how this look turned out. It photographed really nicely. My boyfriend thought it looked horrible, but he just doesn't like color like me. But I don't care about his opinion, so I just care about me liking it, and I really do. I feel like these colors are so pretty together. Super pink, and yeah, please leave a comment down below what you think of this, if you liked it or not, and give this video a thumbs up if you liked it. And remember to subscribe to my channel if you want to see more content from me. Thank you so much for watching. Bye!